टु जुत्ता किने
न यार म जान्छु कि किन्ने हो कि
पैसा भ्याइहाल्छ त खाता पैसा अब
भ्याउँदैन
यो खाए त्यो खाए के दिन्छ
I don't know what this is. So okay, I thought that I wanted to. Okay, let's not write linear regression on this. I would like to do DSA Python. Sure. Linked list. Why not? Let's understand linked list as of now. I have the tutorials, the Udemy course in the directory. I will view that, and hopefully I'll be able to solve some of the problems. I do have a little bit of idea about this, but just frankly speaking, I need to be able to do some problems, at least the easy ones. So okay, let's have linked list on this, and let us start with our okay. So yes, linked list, and let's open up VS Code over here. This was the bash script, not the bash script, but the Python script that I was working on to enable and disable the conservation mode on my laptop. It's a Legion laptop, so it supports capping your battery charging percentage to a specific percent. For example, let's say in this Legion laptop it does 80%. That means it charges up to 80%, and then it cuts off the battery drain, like the intake, and draws power straight from the cord. That makes the battery last longer or something like that. That's the whole point. And yeah, I have like this script runs well, I guess, and let's see if it works or not. I actually put it in path as well. Let's see if it is working or not. That means conservation mode is enabled. It means that my charging percentage will be fixed at 80%. I'll not run it right now. I'm gonna show you guys when it charges up to 80%. So let's open up what was that, DSA, and I'm gonna make this right first. So I'm gonna delete this first, and okay, and I need Visual Studio Code -bin. Yes, this one. I'm very used to writing just code on my terminal and opening up it in the VS Code, so I'm not used to this VS Codium thing. And I would like to mention that the fact that I can just write sudo apt sudo pacman, like, okay, -s and install. Where the fuck is this shit? Okay, yes, this one. The fact that I can just write this and everything just installs is really great. Now I can write code and it should open up in the VS Code, the OG VS Code. Yes, so I do know that how linked list works. but I don't know how to actually implement it in Python. In previous lectures, I've known that like basically using a object like structure. So that means in linked list we have in a singly linked list. What happens is you get the pointer to head and tail, and like if in a node there's a value and a pointer to the next element, next node, that is Azhar. Lala, I'll be back, guys. Okay, so it looks like our Python extension has been installed. Let's install code runner as well. Okay, alright, so as for my class knowledge for classes, I have zero knowledge. Like, I know how classes work and all, but in Python, just making classes and all seems a far-fetched idea for me as of now. But in the previous lecture, I did learn about classes and pointers. So I'm not gonna.
Okay, so now we're going to look at.
Okay, I know this as well.
So now let's create our constructor for our linked list.
That means
and we're going to start it out like this. With classes, we're going to capitalize the name of the class. So that names the class, and then we'll build out the constructor like this. Yep. And we saw this in the class video that we start with a double underscore, then a init to initialize this, and another double underscore, and that there's always going to be self as one of the parameters. And this is how you tell that this is a method.
All right, I'm going to assume that a constructor, what constructor means is when you create an object of the class, every time the object is created, this constructor, this function is initialized, like each time the object is created. So that means you can make the preliminary things. Preliminary things means what it actually is. Okay, let's visualizing code visualizer or something. No, eraser web or something, I don't know. Website. Okay, AI Copilot for technical design. Nice. This is what I want. I'm gonna try to like explain whatever I know throughout this video so that my concepts will also be clear. And if I actually do not know, but most of the times what I think happens is I think I know something, but when I go on to explain it to someone else, a whole lot of confusions, a whole lot of problems just arise on my mind. So I need to make everything clear right now, right here. So from what I know, this is a node. Alright, it can be anything. Okay, let's make it bigger. It's a node, right? And each in linked list, each node has a value attribute and a what we say, um, uh, okay, null. So okay, in this node, it contains value and a pointer that points to the next node. So that gives us, our head is also this one and our tail is also this one. Why, you may ask? Because we don't have a ending element or something like that when our node, like the linked list is first initialized. So our head is also pointing to the same node and our tail is also pointing to the same node. So this does not actually give us whole lot to work with, but when we go on and make okay, when we go on and make a whole lot of copies of this thing, I know that means when we create a whole lot of nodes, we get to know that this tail actually points to the last element. This tail actually points to the last element. Yeah. This is what I know about
inside of a class instead of a function. And then we're also, in this case, going to have value as a parameter, and we're going to use that to create the first node at the time that we initialize the linked list.
Yes.
But before we get into building out this constructor, I'm going to bring in just the first line of 3 other methods that the constructor has a couple of things in common with, and you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. They are append,
Sure.
prepend,
Okay.
and insert.
Okay.
So the first thing these all have in common
Is that
is
they are
that
putting a
we
value.
pass a value
Yes.
to all of these. And to show you the other thing these all have in common, let's
Can you
look
start some
at
Caesar?
what each one of these does. So the constructor, it is going to
Basically
create a node. It's also
Yes.
going to initialize the new linked list, but it's going to create a node. The append method is going to create a node and then add that node to the end.
Yes.
Prepend is going to create a node and add that
bring it
node to the
first
beginning.
one. So in in append, what I did here, exact same thing happens, but in prepend, the head will be changed to here, and the new node will be the first one. That, like, the head, this suppose this is the node that user passed in, then this one becomes the first node, and the head will point here, and the tail will point to the next one, other one. That's what happens in prepend. And in insert, user can pass in the index, right? The index can be passed in, and it can work
Insert's
like
going to create,
that.
so you can see these all
Yes.
create,
Yes.
but 4 different times. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a class that does nothing but create nodes.
Okay.
And we're going to call that class
We're gonna-
node.
Okay.
So when
Okay.
any one of these 4 methods needs to create a node, it will call on the node class to
Nice.
create it. And the only thing this is going to contain is a constructor that we're going
Yes.
to pass a value so we can assign it to the node. As for the rest of the constructor, let's look again at what a node is. It is really this.
Value and the next.
So the
yes.
node is going to contain value and next. And when you have variables that apply to a specific,
All right. So in a linked list, what happens is, suppose this is a node, right? This is actually a node, and it's a in the next what do we call? Is this a parameter object? object key. Okay, in the next key it will contain yet another this object with value and next as keys, and that next will also contain something over there like the object. And when it reaches to the end of the linked list, the next will have none.
Specific
That's how I
instance.
understand.
Remember, we use the self keyword, self.value and
Yes.
self.next. So the constructor for the node is going to look like this.
Value
So when
equals
we
the value
call
itself,
on the node
and
class, we're going to
self
pass it a
next
value.
will be next.
That is what
Okay, not
this
next.
is here. And then it gets passed to the specific instance of node.
Specific instance.
Now that we have a way of creating nodes, we can build out our linked list constructor. So let's bring this back, and our constructor is going to start off like this. So we're going to pass it a value so we can create the first node in the linked list at the time that we create.
Okay, I'll try to imagine how I'm going to do this. So we already have a node that we can create with the help of this class. So each time this constructor is called, we need to create a node. That means I just need to create an object of this class node, which can be created as node. It was in Java, new node. Okay, let me think. Nope.
Create the linked list. So we're going to have a variable new node, and that's going to be equal to node with a capital N. That means it's going to call the node class, and we're going to pass this value here to the node class, and that creates
new node object of the class node, which contains these two attributes.
the node. Then we say self.head equals new node.
Yes.
So we'll bring the head in here, and that points to the new node.
And
Also
self.tail
self.tail
will
equals
also
new
point
node.
to
Now we have tail also pointing to the new node. And then we're going to keep track of the length. So we're going to start the length out by being equal to 1.
What?
And that is our linked list constructor. Now that we have this, we can create a new linked list. And we can do it like this. My linked list equals linked list. Notice this has the capital L. It is calling the linked list class, and we are passing it the number 4.
That means value.
And by writing this
4.
line here, the my linked list, you are creating all of this. You have created a head and a tail. It points to the new node. It assigns the value of 4 to that new node and gives the linked list a
That's gonna be
length
the output.
of 1.
Okay, let me think. It might say Python object or something. Yes. Linked list object. Okay.
So let's go over to VS Code, and we'll look at our constructors that we've created. One for the node, one for...
Okay, what I do not understand is when a new node is created, each time a new node is created, head will point to new node and tail will also point to new node. Self.length equals 1.
for the linked list, and then run this line of code here and look at what it creates. My linked list dot head dot value, that's going to be the value of that first item, and we create that first item in the
So my linked list dot head dot value.
linked list. When we create my linked list,
Head dot value. न्यू नोड पास गरिरहेछ हैन, हेडमा पनि न्यू नोड पास गरिरहेछ and tail मा पनि new node pass गरिरहेछ. Okay, so in each of these cases in our header tail दुवैमा value छ हैन. Okay.
List and set it equal to linked list. We pass it the number 4, and that's going to initiate this linked list constructor.
All right.
The linked list constructor is going to create that first node with this line here, which calls the node class and creates the node. Once we've created the node, we have head and tail point to it here, and that's why we can come down to here where it says print mylinkedlist.head.value and be able to get to that value. So I'm just going to run this, and that gives us that value of 4 of that first item. All right, so it looks like we have a working linked list constructor.
Okay, nice.
So in order to look at all of the values in a linked list, I've created a method called print
Traverse.
list.
Okay, traverse.
So I'll just walk through this
That means-
quickly. It's pretty simple. It's called print list.
Okay, I'm gonna try to implement it by myself. So when print list is called, what we need to do is we need to return every nodes in the linked list. So I'm not going to create any extra nodes. I just need to say that these are the nodes.
Then we have the variable temp equal to self.head like this. And then we just have a while loop that goes through the...
Yes. Okay. So we have a temp thingy. Okay, I'm starting to remember what I read in my third semester. So when temp, when we need to traverse the linked list, what actually needs to be done is if we move the actual head pointer, then the element that is on here, suppose this is head and this is the first element, right? And if we start to traverse through here, that means if we go on to the next and move the head pointer to this 3, that is the second node, then we lose the first one because there's no way to get this back, as head was the one that was keeping track of the first node. So we need to make a separate pointer called temp, and so we need to traverse until temp is not none. Okay, let's look at this line. So when will temp be none? When the last node, that is last node, will point to none. That means at the last node. So that means it will go on traversing until the last node, and when it sees the this node is pointing to none, then it will stop working. So that means we need to print temp.value, and we need to reassign that temp will be equal to temp.next. So okay, I'm gonna make it, okay, I'm gonna explain it again. So what actually happens here is each time we are in this node, like let's say in this node we have 2 attributes, that is value and next. So temp.value will give us the value, and temp.next means it will give you the next node's location, and hence the temp will go point to this one in this line. Check this one. So this will happen until the temp is pointing to the next one is none. So that means when it reaches here, in this one the temp will point to the next one will be none, so
List
it will
point to
stop working.
and the 7.
That means this is an easy one. Okay, let's let's find okay, fuck it, I'm gonna write the append as well. It's starting to come back to me. So while appending, we need to create a node, right? That means I need to create let's make a new node at object of the node class. Let's give it the value. The value will be passed through this append function. And what I would like to do is I would like to pass self dot value as new node, right? Not value. Self dot head will be from new node, and self dot tail will also be from new node. And the yes. Any other? No, this is it. Yes. Okay, maybe I'm not right, totally right. What is happening here? When I create a node, it will like I'll pass the value here, and next will, and the next will self dot next. The next will point to none. Surumache. Okay, so headline new node vanna mildena. I cannot say this. And for our tail element, we need to point it to none. We need to point it to none. I need to traverse to the second last element. Is this not correct? For our append, I am working on my paper here. Fuck it, I'm gonna open the camera as well. What goes? Video camera integrated. We okay. Speed it up. Now that's better. Okay. Why is this so trippy? Doesn't matter to me. Alright, from what I know, there's a head pointer that will point to first element, and if I want to so by default the next will point to the next node that it will point to is none. So when I write the append attribute, what I need to find is if it's pointing let's have another node as well, and if it is if the second node is pointing to none, then our first node is created when we made the object node from here. So yes, we do have a new node with a value passed to it, and that is pointing to none. So we are sorted there. What we need to find is we need to get the second last node, right? When after it is done, the second last node, and point its next to none, to the newly created node. That means okay, I need to traverse the list again. So while let's make temp as a new node, right? And while temp is not none, we are going to print, not print, we are going to have temp, we are going to have temp point to the next of this. So so here our temp is pointing to this particular node, right? And what I need to do is temp dot next will point to new node. Yes, this should do it. And okay, let's say this is what it says. The list is initialized, and my linked list dot append, and I can write 12, 13, 14. Sure, why not? Let's get my linked list dot print list. Sure. Where did I fuck up? Non-type object has no attribute next, and no dictionary for setting new attributes. So I cannot append. What's wrong? Temp को next will be equals to
Then we reach the end, creating the structure, and when we do that, so now we're going to write the method to append this node. So there were list, obviously.
not next.
So if you want to code this, these are the steps for doing the append method. Pause the video here, go over to VS Code and see how far you can get with this, or if you can write the entire method. And then, so now, set up keyword. So let set up for say for the nodes that are set. So if you want to code, go over and we'll walk through it. So of course with and we'll.
Okay, there might be some things that I've not. Okay. Temp. Maybe. Self dot temp self dot tail will be equal to
walk through it. That of keys node the first. Have to node like
okay, you the if self dot if there are no elements, that means if self dot head is none, यदि head नै छैन भनेपछि what I need to do is head equals to new node भनिदिन्छु अनि self dot tail equals to new node भनिदिन्छु.
the existing in the linked list, we'll say else. And now let's build out this else statement. So we're going to say tail.next equals new node.
Self dot tail dot next. My bad. Okay, the tail will point to the next one, the new node.
Okay, and that is tail dot next. We're setting it equal to the new node like that. And then we're going to move tail over by saying tail equals new node. That moves that over and adds that node into the list. Now let's add this else code.
Give it. Bound method, linked list, print list. Print list is fucked this away.
Back in with the created a node. We're going to link actually not necessary. True. And there's one other thing I'm going to do is we're going to do these steps here. The only thing left to do is to increase the length of the linked list by 1. And there's one other thing I'm going to do here, and this is completely optional. I'm going to have it return true. And as a standalone method, this is actually not necessary for the append method. But the reason I have it in here is in a few videos, we're going to write another method that calls on the append method. And that method requires a true or false to be returned. So we're going to look at this code in a moment in VS Code. And when we do, we're going to create a linked list that looks like this.
Alright, so we have two pointers that are pointing head and tail. So I don't need temp SMAS. Why? Because each time a new node is created, tail is set at last. So so we are basically making the we are initializing the linked list जस्तो हुन्छ यसमा चाहिँ हैन यदि हेड नै खाली छ भने चाहिँ यदि हेड छैन भने चाहिँ for this particular node we are that the tail को next will point to new node हैन so यसमा भनेको जस्तै okay this is a new node right it's also pointing to none why because this new node is an instance of the object. The object is the class node, so this class node will create a node that will have value of the value supplied and next of none. So this is none and okay अनि यसको none यसको next ले चाहिँ tail dot next equals new node छ हैन self dot tail dot next equals new node. टेल को नेक्स्ट ले चाहिँ न्यू नोड मा पोइन्ट गरिरहेछ न्यू नोड अब यसको सेल्फ डट टेल भनेको चाहिँ न्यू नोड मा राख्दियो भने चाहिँ ओके नाइस अब यो प्रिन्ट गर्ने बेलामा चाहिँ किन भइरा छैन भनेर हेरौँ है प्रिन्ट गर्ने बेलामा चाहिँ सेल्फ भनेर मात्र छ एउटा टेम्पररी भेरिएबल एउटा टेम्पररी पोइन्टर बनाएर सेल्फ डट हेडलाई राख्यो हैन यदि टेम्पररी त्यो पोइन्टर नल छैन भनेपछि temp dot value गरिदिने अनि temp equals to नयाँमा पोइन्ट गरिदिने.
So we're going to say
it's going to be यही त हुनु पर्ने हो.
tail dot.
So init method भइरा छ यसमा हरेक चोटी. That means
else code back in with the rest of our code like this. Tested to see wise. We're going to do the link here and method with the value we have to look at in a moment is a method inside of the linked list class. Sometimes if you're new at this, it's hard to visualize where the new code that we've written fits in with the rest of the code. So I just want to show all of this. We have our constructor for the linked list here, our print list, and then we'll scroll a little bit here. and that is our append method. Now down here, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new linked list with the value of 1, just like we showed in the diagram. And then we're going to say my linked list dot append the number 2. And then down here, we'll say my linked list dot print list. And then we should see.
Okay, print गर्नु पर्दैन नि त हैन. Print list भन्ने फंक्सनलाई कल गरिरहेछ. So okay, nice. What I would like to do is
see 1 and 2 printed out. Okay, so let's run this, and there we have 1 and 2 printed out. So it looks like we have a working method for append.
Sure, okay. Okay. Now that we know append, I'm gonna try to implement pop. Append ma chai I was not used to this shit, हैन. Now I think I should be able to do it, है. किन भन्दाखेरि when using the pop method, what I okay, pop ले चाहिँ the last node that is pointing to none, हैन. That means the tail node, right? Okay, now we have a clear image on our head. So the tail node should be removed. This should be removed entirely, and the second last node should point to null भन्दा पनि it's right, none नै है. Okay, so what do we know about this? We are not going to create a node. We just need to remove the last node that is pointing to null. That means I'm gonna make a temporary pointer that will point to tail, right? Okay, that will point to tail. Nope. Okay, no. Okay, I will make a temporary variable that will point to head, and I need to traverse the temp variable when it's not none. What I need to do is I would like it to just go to the next one, right? I just want it to go to next, right? If the next is none, while temp ko next is none, while the temp ko next is none, temp equals to temp ko next. While okay, I'm gonna make it again, eh? म कहाँ चुकिरहेको छु? Okay, so I have created a thing here. यो temp भन्ने छ. So I need to check if temp को next is null. temp को next लाई check गर्नु पर्यो कि मैले temp को next लाई check गर्नु पर्यो? What if there is only one element त्यसो भने? What if there is only one node भन्ने कुरा आउँछ? So if एउटा मात्र node हुनु भनेको चाहिँ त्यो एउटा node लाई पनि हटाइदिनु हो. So if temp को next is none, त्यो हो भने चाहिँ यसमा हुन्छ यो. अनि यदि temp को next is none भनेपछि while temp is not none, while temp is not none मतलब none भयो भनेपछि टेम्पको नेक्स्ट नन छ भन्ने थाहा पायो भनेपछि it will stop working अनि if it stops working त्यति बेलै if it stops working त्यति बेला ठिक छ म खादैन अहिले के भयो म कहाँ यताउति गइरहेको छु यदि टेम्पको नेक्स्ट नन छ भनेपछि while टेम्पको नेक्स्ट इज नट नन टेम्पको नेक्स्ट नन भयो भनेपछि टेम्प self dot tail equals to temp गरिदिने will it pop त्यसो भने अब चाहिँ के आइरहेको थियो my linked list dot pop भनेर मैले कल गर्दै भने चाहिँ यो प्रिन्ट नै भइरहेछ भनेपछि self dot okay अब there is no attribute next रे के भन्नु खोजे मैले किन हगिरहेको छु यहाँ पुगेर यत्रो एक्सप्लेन गर्दाखेरि नि कसरी हगिरहेको छु मैले ओके यो हेड भयो हैन हेड यहाँ छँदैछ लेट्स से इफ टेल पनि यही छ रे भनेपछि अब यो यसले चाहिँ यसको नेक्स्टले चाहिँ इज पोइन्टिङ टु नन अरे भनेपछि I need to see एउटा टेम्पररी भेरिएबल एउटा टेम्पररी पोइन्टर बनाउँछु which will start at head and it will check if temp को next is none यदि none छ भनेपछि temp को next none छ भनेपछि temp को next none छ भनेपछि टेम्पलाई उडाइदिनु पर्यो हैन द्याट मिन्स टेम्पलाई नै नन हान्दिनु पर्यो मैले अनि टेल कहाँ हुन्छ त यस्तो हो nope
Now let's code the pop method.
Okay, यहाँ हेड आइहाल्यो हेड पछि के आउँछ हेड पछि चाहिँ अर्को नोड आउँछ which can be tail अनि टेलको नेक्स्टले चाहिँ नन पोइन्ट गर्छ है हेड भयो यहाँ मैले टेम्प चलाइरहेको छु टेम्पको नेक्स्ट नन छ छैन भनेपछि टेम्प विल बी दिस वान त्यसो भनेपछि चाहिँ हैन टेम्पको नेक्स्ट नन छ भनेपछि टेम्पको नेक्स्ट गरिरहेको थियो हैन while temp is not none while टेम्पको नेक्स्ट इज नट नन जस्तो लागिरहेछ यार मलाई त while टेम्पको नेक्स्ट इज नट नन यदि नन छैन भनेपछि टेम्पको नेक्स्ट यदि नन छैन भनेपछि यदि टेम्पको नेक्स्ट नन छैन भनेपछि चाहिँ टेम्पलाई बढाउनु पर्यो अनि यहाँ पुग्छ यदि टेम्पको नेक्स्ट नन छैन भनेपछि यदि नन छैन भनेपछि यो छ भनेपछि यो काम गर्दैन द्याट मिन्स टेम्प यहीँ बस्ने भयो हैन अब व्हाट आई निड टु डु इज अब मैले चाहिँ टेम्पलाई नै नन भनिदिनु पर्यो हैन मैले टेम्पको नेक्स्ट हेर्नु पर्ने हो त हैन टेम्पको नेक्स्ट नन छ भनेपछि हैन यो गर्न मिलेन self dot temp equals to none गर्नु पर्यो अनि self dot tail equals to temp गर्नु पर्यो फेरि भयो
So we'll remember where tail is dot so we'll remember we had also created these two variables.
Okay. Pre भन्ने यहाँ छ हैन while temp dot next is not none मतलब while temp dot next exists भन्ने कुरो भयो pre equals to temp भनेर भन्छु अब मैले tail लाई चाहिँ pre भनिदिनु पर्यो अनि temp लाई चाहिँ none भन्नु पर्यो so okay मैले temp मा केही पनि गर्न परेन so tail भनेको चाहिँ pre हुने भयो ओके tail भनेको चाहिँ previous वाला हुने भयो अनि self dot tail dot next equals to none गरिदिनु पर्यो
And okay, so now
pop गर्ने बेला where did I go wrong भनेपछि I thought up to temp हुन्छ अनि temp will point to the last element तर फेरि tail लाई चाहिँ पछाडी ल्याउने कसरी भनेर चाहिँ I did not think that so त्यसको लागि चाहिँ temp को ठ्याक्क पछाडीपट्टि पनि एउटा अर्को पोइन्टर राख्नु पर्यो which will point to the के अरे which will help the त्यो tail लाई चाहिँ त्यसमा पोइन्ट गर्न हेल्प गर्छ र अनि त्यसपछि जुन पोइन्टरमा चाहिँ tail को नेक्स्ट लाई चाहिँ नन गर्दिन काम गर्छ ओके नाइस प्रिपेन्ड भनेको चाहिँ प्रिपेन्डमा चाहिँ के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि प्रिपेन्डमा चाहिँ यो हेड छ नि त हैन हेड वाला यसको अगाडि चाहिँ एउटा अर्को नोड बनाउनु पर्यो सो दैट मीन्स हाम्रो न्यू नोड बनिहाल्छ यही नोड बन्छ त्यसमा भ्यालु पनि जान्छ अनि त्यो नोडले चाहिँ के गरेर हुन्छ त्यो नोडले के गरेर हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि ओके के हो ओके सो एउटा अर्को नोड बन्छ हैन त्यो नोडमा चाहिँ त्यो नोडबाट हामीहरुले समातेर इट विल फर्स्ट सुरुमा चाहिँ इट विल पोइन्ट टु नन हैन त इट विल पोइन्ट टु नन किन भन्दाखेरि सुरुमा जो नोड इनिशियलाइज गर्ने बेला चाहिँ इट विल बी नन हैन तर यो गर्नलाई चाहिँ सुरुमा हामीहरूले नोडको नेक्स्टलाई चाहिँ सो सेल्फ डट न्यू के अरे न्यू नोड डट नेक्स्टमा चाहिँ हामीहरूले के गर्न सक्यो भन्दाखेरि हेड राख्न सक्यो होइन सो द्याट मिन्स हामीले चाहिँ सेल्फ डट हेडलाई दिन मिल्छ सो नेक्स्टमा चाहिँ यसलाई पोइन्ट गर्छ अनि त्यसपछि चाहिँ सेल्फ डट हेड भनेको चाहिँ न्यू नोड भनेर राखिदिन मिल्छ सो द्याट बेसिकल्ली गिभ्स अस पपलाई हटाइदिउँ लेट्स युज प्रिपेन्ड 2 भनेर राख्छु मैले यो चाहिँ अगाडि आउनु पर्यो नाइस ओके यसको लजिक ठिक छ है मेरो आई नो दिस
So in this video,
pop first
yeah, we're going
यसको लागि छुट्टै बनाउनु पर्छ फेरि
to why first we'll
alright तर फेरि ओके एज केसेसहरु हेर्न छैन मैले व्हाट इफ देयर इज नथिङ ओभर हियर यो केही पनि छैन भनेपछि त यो त अड्किने भयो ल गरे गरे
Okay, so now let's do head and new and so it'll start out with a new node. We'll do our
So it's gonna see यदि खाली छ भनेपछि त केही गर्ने कामै भएन केही गरेर यदि सेल्फ डट लेन्थ यदि 0 छ भनेपछि चाहिँ यसले नयाँ नै बनाइदिन्छ हैन सेल्फ डट हेड इक्वल्स टु न्यू नोड भन्ने हुन्छ अनि सेल्फ डट टेल इक्वल्स टु न्यू नोड भन्ने हुन्छ है अनि यदि त्यो हैन भनेपछि अनि बल्ल what it needs to do is new node dot next मा चाहिँ जान्छ अनि फेरि यहाँ काउन्टर राखिराछ self dot length plus equals to 100
or to increases and append all
like it's even returning true
also be using pre-tube like so in this
nice अब मैले pop first हेर्नु पर्यो हैन def सेल्फ भ्याल्यु भन्ने छ भ्याल्यु हुँदैन किन हुँदैन भन्दाखेरि पप गर्नलाई चाहिँ भ्याल्यु चाहिँदैन ओके सो यसमा चाहिँ व्हाट आई नीड टु डु इज फर्स्ट अफ अल आई नीड टु असाइन हेड टु दी नेक्स्ट एलिमेन्टमा गर्नुपर्छ यदि लेन्थ 0 छ भनेपछि इफ सेल्फ डट लेन्थ इज इक्वल्स टु 0 यदि 0 छ भनेपछि त अब केही गर्नै मिलेन हैन गर्नै मिलेन मतलब रिटर्न फल्स हानिदिन्छु फल चाहिँ हान्दिउँ भालो हैन भनेपछि यदि त्यो हैन भनेपछि चाहिँ यदि एउटा मात्र छ भनेपछि चाहिँ elif यदि सेल्फ डट लेन्थ इक्वल्स टु 1 छ भनेपछि सेल्फ डट हेड इक्वल्स टु नन सेल्फ डट tail equals to none गरिदिनु पर्यो else मा चाहिँ self dot यदि त्यो भन्दा पनि बढी छ भने चाहिँ अनि बल्ल what we need to do is self dot head equals to so एउटा भेरिएबल बनाउनु पर्यो temp भन्ने एउटा पोइन्टर बन्छ अनि त्यो टेलले चाहिँ what I want to do is temp ले चाहिँ what I would like to do is while temp is not none यदि खाली नभएसम्म damn it's streaming still what this is streaming ठीक छ आवाज आएन बरु this is streaming ठीक छ what the fuck okay यो यहाँको भयो नाइस आवाज अलिकति बढाइदिउँ नि त त्यो गरौँ ठिक हुन्छ सो ओके पप फर्स्टमा चाहिँ मैले के सोचेँ भन्दाखेरि यदि लेन्थ 0 छ भने चाहिँ हैन फल्स भनेर रिटर्न गर्दै हुन्छ अनि यदि 1 छ भने चाहिँ यदि यदि 1 सँग इक्वल छ भने चाहिँ नेक्स्टमा इक्वल लाइक हेड र टेल दुवै नन गर्दै भइहाल्यो हेड र टेलको नेक्स्ट नन गरे हुन्छ हैन हेड र टेललाई नै नन गर्दै भने त कहीँ पोइन्टै गरेर छैन भन्ने हुन्छ सो त्यो पनि गायब भइहाल्छ ठिक छ अनि यदि अगाडिको मात्र हटाउनु पर्यो हैन अब जस्तै ल 2 वटा 3 वटा जतिवटा पनि छ रे हैन अब मैले अगाडिको निकाल्नु पर्यो दैट मिन्स मैले टेम्प भनेको चाहिँ हेडको नेक्स्ट भन्ने हुन्छ मसँग हैन टेम्पको नेक्स्ट नोड भनेको चाहिँ हेडको नेक्स्ट नोड भनेको चाहिँ टेम्प हुन्छ हैन अनि यदि टेम्पको नेक्स्ट नोड खाली अनि यदि टेम्प खाली छैन भने चाहिँ दैट मिन्स लेन्थ यदि 1 छैन भने चाहिँ अब यसको बारेमा हेर्नु पर्दैन यदि एकछिन है I'm thinking a lot यदि टेम्प खाली छैन भने चाहिँ बेसिकली टेम्प खाली हुँदैन यदि टेम्प भनेको चाहिँ सेल्फको नेक्स्ट छ सो सेल्फ डट हेड भनेको चाहिँ टेम्पमा आउनु पर्यो हैन हेड भनेको यो भइहाल्यो अनि मैले ओभरअलमा चाहिँ ओभरअलमा -1 गर्दै हुन्थ्यो क्या रे तर गर्ने कि नगर्ने
Video, we're gonna pop the. Now let's cut. I'm gonna remove this current temp dot value, just to test.
What the fuck? Okay, यहाँ मैले गरे जस्तै गरेछ है यहाँ चाहिँ अब यदि लेन्थ इक्वल्स टु यो भने चाहिँ रिटर्न नन गरेछ नाइस नन हैन if self dot length is equals to 0 return none. Temp while temp को next exist गर्छ भनेपछि यो गर्नु पर्यो, free गर्नु पर्यो next भन्ने भ्याल्यु हैन. अनि self dot okay yes length घटाउनु पर्छ भन्दै थिए मैले हैन, -1 गर्नु पर्छ. if self dot length is equals to 0 नै छ भनेपछि self dot head equals to none. किन यहाँ गरे यो त अगाडि गर्नु पर्ने थियो त.
Yes. And that is our 1 and our 2.
प्रिपेन्ड पनि गरे हैन. माई लिङ्क लिस्ट डट पप फर्स्ट मा चाहिँ यति मात्र कल गरिदियो भने चाहिँ 2 पनि हट्यो हैन. नाइस. अब यदि एउटा मात्र एलिमेन्ट छ भनेपछि केही पनि प्रिन्ट गरेन, 4 मात्र प्रिन्ट गरिरहेछ.
Alright, so I'm going to...
Nice.
So in this video, last at over and none tails
did I think everything through?
Is
okay. So pop first मा के भयो, यदि लेन्थ 0 छ भनेपछि रिटर्न नन गरिदियो हैन. अनि यदि लेन्थ 1 छ भनेपछि दुवैलाई नन नन भनेर रिटर्न गरिदियो हैन. यो पनि काम गरिरहेछ, यो कहाँ गएर काम गर्दैन. temp equals to self dot head, temp equals to self dot head, temp equals to self dot head को next, self dot head equals to temp self dot head dot next भनेको temp हो. temp next भनेको चाहिँ नन छ. temp next भनेको नन छ. If self dot length equals to 0, self dot tail equals to none. Okay, I still do not understand के भइरहेछ भनेर. यदि length 0 छ भनेपछि tail लाई नन गर्यो हैन, return temp गरिदियो.
return temp, which is the item that we removed from the linked list. So we'll look at this code in a moment in VS Code, and we will.
Okay, म सोध्छु है एकछिन. If length 0 छ भनेपछि रिटर्न हान्दिहाल्यो हैन. अनि ओके, अनि यसको लजिक हेरौँ है अब. ल टेम्प भनेको चाहिँ सेल्फ डट हेड रे. टेम्प भनेको चाहिँ सेल्फ डट हेड हो कि टेम्पलाई चाहिँ यहाँ इनिसियलाइज गर्यो. अनि सेल्फ डट हेड भनेको चाहिँ सेल्फ डट हेडको नेक्स्ट हुनु पर्यो है. ल ठिक छ, फेयर इनफ. अनि टेम्पको नेक्स्ट भनेको चाहिँ यहाँ पछि नन हुनुपर्छ. किन हुनु पर्यो? त्यो जरुरी नै छैन त. फर्स्टलाई पप गर्नुपर्ने हो नि त. यदि सेल्फ लेन्थ इक्वल्स टु 0, टेललाई नन गर्दैछ. टेम्पको नेक्स्ट इक्वल्स टु नन. हजुर Okay. मैले बुझिरहेको छैन टेम्पको नेक्स्ट नन किन गरे अनि पछाडिको त गइहाल्छ नि त्यस्तो गरेपछि त हाउडे हाउडे सिकाएर बसेछ च्याट जिपिटी मसिहा issues length not updated after popping the element length should be decrement okay यो गर्न बाँकी थियो memory management head node should be explicitly unlinked हेडलाई चाहिँ unlink गर्नु पर्थ्यो रे what the fuck alright म पुरै पठाइदिन्छु यसलाई pop node equals to self dot head okay अनि if self dot length equals to 1 head none गरिदियो हैन else self dot head okay so value return गर्ने भनेर भन्यो हैन this is a better approach I think than this bullshit I don't even understand whatever the fuck whatever is going on there so good ल pop node भनेर चाहिँ self dot head मा राखेछ नि त हैन head नै हुने गयो अनि के भयो किन यस्तो ल यो यहाँ भइहाल्यो अनि यदि लेन्थ इज इक्वल्स टु 1 भए बेला चाहिँ वी निड टु मेक इट 0 नन भइहाल्यो हैन अनि यदि सेल्फ डट हेड इक्वल्स टु सेल्फ डट हेड डट नेक्स्ट ओके सो सेल्फ डट हेड भनेको चाहिँ सेल्फ डट हेड भनेको सेल्फ डट हेड डट नेक्स्ट भयो ओके नाइस एउटै हो कुरो टेम्प भन्ने चिजै चाहिएन अब के भनिदिनु त अनि असाइन गरिदियो हैन अब पप नोडको नेक्स्ट भनेको चाहिँ नन भयो हैन सो को नेक्स्ट भनेको नन भयो नाइस सेल्फ डट लेन्थ भनेको चाहिँ घटाइरहेछ अब चट्ट लाएर घटाइदिने लेन्थ 8ले घटायो किन भन्दाखेरि हामीले पहिलो मात्र नोड घटाइरहेछ अब के रिटर्न के गरिरहेछ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ टेम्प भनेकै पप नोड हुन्थ्यो अब ठिकै छ टेम्प भनेकै यसमा त्यो राखेछ नि त सेल्फ डट एड टेम्प भनेकै सेल्फ ओके नाइस ल भइहाल्यो हैन दिस इज एक्ज्याक्टली हाउ आई थट इट वुड गो तर यहाँ के गर्यो
Okay, so now let's do get. And for get, instead of showing a diagram, I'm just going to show the first line of the method. We're going to pass it an index, and then it's going to return the node at that index.
Alright. So, I'm index dinu paryo, and it's going to return us the node at that index. Alright. So we will pass यसमा चाहिँ सुरुको कि लास्टको भनेर हैन नै भन्नाले कुनै एउटा इन्डेक्स दिने दैट मीन्स टेम्प भनेको चाहिँ आई शुड मेक इट एज पहिलो नोड एन्ड देन आई विल कीप अन इन्क्रिमेन्टिङ while I is why so के रे कीसँग इक्वल इन्डेक्ससँग इक्वल नहुँदासम्म आई निड टु इन्क्रिमेन्ट इट द्याट मिन्स हामीले while I in range index में शायद for I in index range index हैन यसमा चाहिँ मैले I नै पाइराख्नु पर्ने जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई my linked list dot get 3 भन्दिम हैन सो 0 कहाँबाट आयो 0 1 2 3 4 सम्म आइराछ मैले कति पास गरे 3 भनेर पास गरे हैन Zero 1 2 3 सम्म गइराछ 0 1 2 सम्म जान्छ अनि ओके यति भयो हैन सो मैले यदि थर्ड वाला चाहिरहेछ भने चाहिँ मलाई इन्डेक्स 3 वाला दिनु पर्यो which means टू 4 12 13 मतलब मैले 1 लेखे भने चाहिँ 4 आउनु पर्यो हैन त वन लेख्यो भने चाहिँ 4 आउनु पर्यो कसरी भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ for I in range index यो भयो while I is less than index while I is less than index भन्दा सानो छ भनेछि अनि बल्ल try to print आयो पहिला चाहिँ 0 1 Oscar भाइ Oscar केटी Oscar please
So if you want to code this, go ahead and pause it here.
Gate किन छ ए गेट नै गरेर आउँ त मैले नाइस ओके सो यसमा चाहिँ मैले के गर्नु पर्यो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ if temp भन्दिनु हैन if temp भन्दिनु हैन temp को चाहिँ नेक्स्ट लिइराछ यसले हरेक चोटीमा यदि temp एक्जिस्ट गर्छ भनेपछि चाहिँ temp को नेक्स्टलाई समातिराछ एभ्री टाइम र जहाँ गएर इन्डेक्स सेकेन्ड वाला चाहिरहेछ मतलब 1 वाला दिइराछ भनेपछि 0 1 मा गएर रोकिन्छ 1 मा यदि टेम्प एक्जिस्ट गर्छ भनेपछि एक्जिस्ट गर्छ अनि त्यसमा चाहिँ यो वाला बस्छ सो print list object has no attribute temp list object has no attribute temp मैले के बुझिरहेको छैन भन्दाखेरि मैले त्यहाँसम्म ट्राभर्स गरेँ भने त्यसको सामान अब मैले प्रिन्ट मात्र गर्नुपर्ने हो त भनेपछि मेरो टेम्प त त्यहाँसम्म पुगिसक्यो त हैन मतलब ए हैन यहाँसम्म पुगिसक्यो अब all I need to do is temp dot value लाई चाहिँ पठाउनु पर्यो 12 आइराछ रे 12 कहाँ आइराछ लिस्टमा के छ 0 1 0 1 2 मतलब मैले सेकेन्ड वाला मलाई एक वाला चाहिराछ रे एक वाला चाहिँदाखेरि 12 आइराछ त 4 आउनु पर्ने थियो कहाँ मिस्टेक भइराछ मेरो लजिकमा चाहिँ आइलाई शुड आई स्टार्ट इट फ्रम 1 टेम्प को नेक्स्ट को भ्यालु दिनु पर्यो त्यसो भए temp भनेको head भयो I equals to 1 I equals to 0 while I is less than or equals to temp while I is less than or equals to index while I is less than index भइहाल्यो त आइहाल्यो त ठीक छ
your temp was stored here to test to see if the index is valid. And node build our link.
If index is less than 0 or index is greater than self.length, return none. Nice. If index is less than 0 or index is greater than or equals to self.length, return none.
There is our get method there.
अब यसमा रिटर्न के भइरहेछ टेम्प भइरहेछ टेम्प भनेको सेल्फ डट हेड होइन ठिक छ त्यही घिसिरहेछ यार अलिअलि
Okay, so let's do first thing I want to point out about set is we can't actually call it set. I call it set value here. Set is a keyword in Python, so I can't use that as a method name. So let's bring up a linked list like this. So what we're going to do with set
यतिसम्म भइसक्यो है अब के बाँकी छ इन्सर्ट बाँकी छ इन्सर्ट गर्ने कहाँ भनेर अनि त्यसपछि डिलिट गर्ने कताबाट भनेर पनि बाँकी छ
Is we're going to have a variable.
डब्ली लिङ्क लिस्ट त गरेन हो वाह
Hey everyone, welcome.
You are given the head of a singly linked list. The list can be represented as okay. Reorder the list to be in following form: 0, 1, ln, l1, ln minus 1, ln, ln minus 2. Okay, सक्छु क्या यो त यसमा के भइरहेछ भन्दाखेरि हैन Okay, GG guys, tune in tomorrow. Maybe I'll stream for